Air Force One coming in to Memphis, Tennessee. Nicholas Police reporting. Welcome President Barack Obama to Memphis, Tennessee. Air Force One.
Instructions will be given at that time. If you require assistance during the call, please press star and then 0. And now I turn the conference over to Mr. Ben Rhodes. Please go ahead.
Thanks everybody for joining this call to preview the President's trip to Israel, the West Bank, and Jordan. I'm joined on the call today by our U.S. Ambassador to Israel, Dan Shapiro, who's known to you all as well. I'll make some opening comments and go through the President's schedule. Then Dan may add a few comments, and then we'll take your questions. First of all, let me just say that this is a very important trip for the President. It's his first trip to Israel since becoming President, and the first foreign trip of his second term in office. We felt like this was an important opportunity for the President to go to the region. In Israel, we felt that with a new Israeli government coming into place and a new U.S. term here, this is an important opportunity for the President to consult with the Israeli government on the broad range of issues where we cooperate. We obviously cooperate very closely with Israel on security, intelligence, and economic issues, and there will be a broad agenda for our governments to address while the President is in Israel, including our efforts to prevent Iran from getting a nuclear weapon, the ongoing situation in Syria, the developments in the wider region that pose both opportunities and security challenges, and efforts to advance Israeli-Palestinian peace among the agenda. More important than that, in some respects, this is an opportunity for the President to speak directly to the Israeli people. The President has a very strong record of support for Israel and its security, but we also understand that there's no substitute for the President of the United States going to Israel and delivering that message directly to the Israeli people. And so he's particularly looking forward to the opportunity to spend some time with the people of Israel and to tell them directly about what guides his approach to this relationship. Beyond that, it's a very important time for him to also reinforce U.S. support for the Palestinian Authority. I'll get to that in the schedule, but of course, the United States has made a significant investment in the Palestinian Authority as the legitimate leadership of the Palestinian people, and we're very supportive of efforts, for instance, on the West Bank to develop Palestinian institutions and broaden opportunity for the Palestinian people, even as we continue to work for advancements in the peace process. And then, of course, King Abdullah is a very close ally and partner of the United States and Jordan. We cooperate with Jordan on a broad range of security issues. That includes, of course, the peace process. It also includes addressing the very grave humanitarian crisis in Syria, including the significant refugee population within Jordan, and the U.S. is providing substantial assistance to Jordan and other international partners to help allay that refugee crisis. We're also very supportive of the political reform efforts within Jordan. Recently, of course, there were parliamentary elections. We'd like to see continued momentum on the political reform agenda that the King has supported. So we'll have an opportunity to address those issues. Let me just go through the schedule now. The President will arrive in Israel on Wednesday of next week. He'll begin his program with an arrival ceremony at the airport with both President Perez and Netanyahu. Following that arrival ceremony, where each of the leaders will speak, the President will view an Iron Dome battery. Numerous Israeli lives
Nicholas Figueres reporting
with the
CNN
threat from rocket
iReport
fire.
on this is
The
also known as the
president
Governor of the United States Congress
battery,
2012.
again, is a signal of
And
that
the youngest
continued
Shelby
support
County
for
Youth
Israel and its
School
security
applicant in
and the close
2011
relationship and
on
partnership that we
conference
have on
call
security
with
issues.
the White House regarding
Following
President
that, the
Obama's
president will
first
have
trip to
meetings
Israel.
throughout the afternoon with both President Perez and Prime Minister Netanyahu. First, he will meet with President Perez at his residence. The two presidents will have a chance to spend some time together and make statements as well. Following that, the president will go to Prime Minister Netanyahu's residence, where he'll have a chance to have a bilateral meeting with Prime Minister Netanyahu, followed by a press conference, and then followed by a working dinner. The president and Prime Minister Netanyahu, as you've heard us say, has spent more time together one-on-one than, frankly, any other leader that the president has spent time with since he came into office. They'll have an opportunity to have a very wide-ranging discussion, again, on the various issues, security, political, and economic, that I referenced earlier. And that will conclude the president's first day there. The next day, Thursday, the president will begin by going to the Isreal Museum. At the Isreal Museum, he will view the Dead Sea Scrolls, which are a testament, of course, to the ancient Jewish connection to Israel, and frankly, a marvel that the Israelis have restored within the Isreal Museum in a very substantial, impressive way. So the president very much looks forward to the opportunity to see the Dead Sea Scrolls. Following that, he'll be visiting a technology exposition also at the museum, in which he'll be able to see some of the remarkable science and technological progress that's been made within Israel, some of the remarkable innovation that is helping to fuel the Israeli economy and, frankly, the global economy, and that is also the foundation of significant U.S. and Israeli economic cooperation. And I think, again, seeing the ancient connection through the Dead Sea Scrolls and then the future that is being forged in Israel through the technology exposition, I think will be a very powerful experience. Following that, the president will travel to Ramallah. In Ramallah, he will have a bilateral meeting with President Abbas of the Palestinian Authority, and then the two leaders will have a press conference, and then they'll have a working lunch together. Again, the United States has supported the significant institution building that the Palestinian Authority has undertaken in the West Bank. It's a chance to discuss our continued support for the PA, as well as to discuss ways to advance Israeli-Palestinian peace going forward. Following the working lunch, the president will join Prime Minister Fayyad at the Al-Baray Youth Center, also in Ramallah. Again, this is an opportunity for the president to see firsthand some of the work that's being done to develop institutions on the West Bank, and also to meet with a range of Palestinian young people and hear directly from them as well. So that will complete that portion of his time in Ramallah. Then he will go to the Jerusalem International Convention Center later that afternoon, where he will deliver a speech to the Israeli people. The speech is, frankly, the president very much wanted to have the opportunity to speak not just to Israelis, but to Israeli young people. So we've worked to help build a crowd that will bring in a significant number of Israeli university students from the many universities that our embassy partners with within Israel. The president's speech, I think, will focus on
Nicholas
the
Figueres
nature of the
reporting,
ties
also known as
between
the
the United States
Governor
and
of the
Israel,
United States Congress.
the broad way, but where the United States and Israel are working to move together as we head into
Nicholas Figueres reporting
the
CNN
future of the
iReport on
21st
this is
century.
also known as the Governor of the
Following
United States
that
Congress
speech,
2012 on conference call with the White
later
House
that night, the president will be hosted at a
regarding
dinner
President Obama's
by
trip to
President
Israel.
Perez. And again, President Obama was honored to present President Perez with the Medal of Freedom, the highest U.S. civilian honor last year here at the White House. Now he's very much looking forward to having a dinner with President Perez and a broad range of prominent Israeli leaders at this state dinner at the president's residence. And then that will conclude the program on Thursday. On Friday, the president will begin his day by going to Mount Herzl, where he will lay a wreath at both the grave of Herzl and Rabin, both speaking speaking, of course, to the significant contributions that both of those huge figures in Israeli history and Jewish history to their contributions. Following those replayings, he will visit Yad Vashem and tour Yad Vashem and have a chance to lay wreath and make remarks there, of course, marking the very somber and powerful history of the Holocaust. The president was able to travel there previously in 2008 as a senator and was very deeply moved by that experience, and it's an important opportunity to once again mark that particular tragic element of our shared history. Following the visit to Yad Vashem, the president will travel to Bethlehem, where he will tour the Church of the Nativity. Both Bethlehem and the Church of the Nativity are obviously very important sites on the West Bank, important to the Palestinian people, also important to Christians in the region and around the world. And so it'll be a very powerful experience for the president to be able to have the experience of touring the Church of the Nativity and again, observing firsthand that history and experience. That will conclude the president's time in Israel and the West Bank. He will then...
This is Nicholas Pagese reporting here with Aaron Rubenstein, and I'm going to ask Rabbi Rubenstein, how does one become Jewish?
Okay, so according to Jewish law, either you're Jewish because your mother is Jewish, so by birth, by having a Jewish mother, you're Jewish, or it's possible for somebody to become Jewish, to convert to Judaism, if you will, and essentially they study with a rabbi, and different rabbis will shape that course of study differently depending on who they are and what denomination they're in. At the end of that course of study, that person goes before a rabbinical court. There are 3 rabbis who sit together and ask a range of questions to that person that really want to determine, is the person knowledgeable? Are they committed to embracing Judaism as a lifelong commitment? So all kinds of questions that are really about where is this person at, and are they willing to, if they had other religious commitments, are they willing to let go of that previous religion and be a Jew with 100% of themselves, if you will. So that's one piece of it. There's some ritual aspects as well beyond the conversation and the rabbinical court asking questions before signing off. That person is immersed in a kind of a pool of water called a mikveh, which is something that for Christians evolved into that whole set of rituals around baptism. So there's a special pool that they go into, and there are a variety of rules around that procedure. If the person is a male, then they need to either undergo circumcision if they haven't been previously circumcised, or a kind of a ritual symbolic circumcision. So just giving you the sort of minimal details. There's many other fine points that go into how that really plays out.
Okay, thank you, Rabbi Rubenstein.
Sure.
So Nicholas Pagese reporting, CNN iReport on Memphis, also known as the Governor, trying to inspire my generation into public service and knowing about the Jewish community. So I'm here today with Rabbi Greenstein. How you doing today?
Hi, Nicholas. Good to be with you.
Absolutely, and I'm so honored and thrilled that we're Facebook friends. So I know what the duties of a rabbi is for the Jewish community. Could you please explain to my viewers what is a rabbi and what are your duties for Temple Israel?
A rabbi literally means a teacher, and a rabbi is the spiritual leader of a Jewish community. Here at Temple Israel, there are about 4,000 plus souls, and we oversee a school It's a house of prayer, a house of learning, a house of assembly. It's this joyful community that hopefully gives people guideposts for living, what we call the way of Torah.
Absolutely. Nicholas Fagis reporting. CNN iReport on Memphis. Nicholas Fagis reporting. CNN iReport on Memphis. Nicholas Fagis, also known as the governor, here with Rabbi Greenstein. Rabbi Greenstein, what does election 2012 mean to the Jewish people of Tennessee, and especially to the state of Israel?
I think this election means the same to the Jewish community that it means to all Americans, and that is there's so many people who are vulnerable in our society who actually haven't been talked about in this election. People who are poor, the hungry. We talk about jobs, but we don't talk about those who have nowhere else to turn and what we as a community can do. The whole idea in Judaism is to be our brother's keeper and to look out for the other. Of course, Israel matters a great deal. The survival of Israel is an issue not only for the Jewish people, but as America's only democratic ally, Israel means a lot more than just being the homeland for the Jewish people. But of course, to Jews, it is our spiritual homeland, and the Holocaust, the end of world Jewry for 1 out of every 3 Jews who were murdered by the Nazis, had there been in Israel, there would have been a place for them to go. But I think it's fair to say that American Jews care most about what other Americans care about: education, yes, jobs, but also when we look out for the widow, the orphan, the single parent, the child who has no meal to eat tonight. So I think it's fair to say that the concerns of the American Jewish community, if you look at the electorate, mirror the concerns of American electorate in general.
Absolutely. Nicholas Fagis reporting, CNN iReport on Memphis, here in the office of Rabbi Greenstein. And I know how much my family loves Oprah, and Rabbi Greenstein has actually met Oprah, so that's pretty cool. Quite unique to meet Oprah Winfrey, Senator Bob Corker, and other international celebrities he has met from around the world. So Nicholas Fagis reporting, CNN iReport on Memphis. Nicholas Fagis here with Commissioner Heidi Schaefer. As I was stating before, I came up with the title. They came up with the title calling me the governor here at the Election Commission by my woman Karen Hart. And I just wanted to say that I believe Governor Haslam is a good person, and a very caring person.
I do too, and his wife is from here in Memphis and Shelby County, so we feel doubly thrilled because not only is Governor Haslam a good businessman and a good governor, but he's got roots through his wife here, and
Yeah.
we love that because we are the largest county in Tennessee.
Absolutely.
And how Memphis goes is how Tennessee goes, so it's very important to Tennessee that we do well. And I know Governor Haslam has this close to his heart.
Yeah, absolutely. And maybe I'll follow in his footsteps.
There you go, absolutely. Yeah.
Thank you, Commissioner Schaefer.